Good morning, students. We'll have today, before going into the classifications in pharmacognosy, we need this class about very short about some important, we can say about some definitions, some words which all are important to know for the basic initial stage of pharmacognosy. This class will be it will be useful for diploma in pharmacy students also, who is studying the whole pharmacognosy in 1 year, and also for the 4th sem students who are having the initial subject. This is the class will be useful, and most of them they have asked even classification for 5-mark question. But here we are not going to discuss about the classification, but before classification we should know about some of the definitions, like we should know official and unofficial drugs. What is the origin of drugs, and the natural or biological origin sources, what is it, and what is binomial system, and in which you should know that the specific name is usually chosen in the names of the plants, and it indicates some character. That's also we are going to discuss. That's why I put a question mark. The specific name is usually chosen to indicate what in the drug, and the generic name may also allude to certain character of the plant. That means allude means which denotes or which points out or which identifies certain characteristics of the plant. And geographical source of the drugs also, we should know this also. What is this geographical sources of plants, and dealing with the names or botanical names of the plants, or biological names of the animal or the plants, of the natural source of compounds. And the commercial origin also plays a major role in most of the cases. Sometimes certain compounds, certain drugs, certain crude drugs are cultivated in different countries, different area where the demand is more. So the commercial origin also plays a major role in detailing about the small definitions for our students. So listen carefully, and you can just read and prepare your notes and make yourself comfortable before examination. Official and unofficial drugs. Official drugs means official, unofficial means which is not comes under in the pharmacopoeia, or not listed out in the pharmacopoeia, listed out in the authorized books. So drugs are either official or unofficial. An official drug is one which is listed and described in a book, recognized by the government as the legal authority of standards, pharmacopoeia. There you will get the requirements of the standard crude drug, purity of the drug, chemical test, identification of the drug, qualitative and quantitative estimations procedure of the drug, and so that a pharmacist can easily identify if there is any type of adulteration or fraudulence or change in the quality of any crude drug can be estimated or can be determined, and reject the product if it is not comply with the standards given by the pharmacopoeias. Origin of the drug means there are two origins for each drug: the natural or biological, as well as this geographical origin. So if it is not clear, just a minute, I have to just pull down so that the students can clearly see what is there. See, it's not a big issue. So you can see here, it states that there are two origins for each drug: the nature or biological, as well as the geographical origin. The commercial origin is also of interest in case of certain drugs, as I have told now. The natural or biological origin source means the natural origin of a drug is the plant. The natural origin of a drug is the plant or animal yield. If it is a botanical origin or botanical source, to the plant, if it is a plant. If it is an animal, then zoological origin or source will be recorded. So this is the thing which we want to tell about the source: biological source, botanical source, which we used to say whenever you are mentioning any crude drug. In the examination, an example even, you have to write the botanical source, the biological source. What do you mean by this binomial system? Binomial system is due to Sweden botanist Linnaeus and the system, the first name, which is always spelt with capital letter, denotes the genus. So for example, I have taken the example of Cinchona ledgerania. Ledgerania is the species name. Cinchona is genus name. So the genus name should start with a capital letter. It should be given. There is no compromise in this case of writing any botanical or biological source of the natural crude drug. The second name, that is the species, it should be in the small letter, where the species name after the genus. The genus name always capitalized and is written first. The specific epithet. Epithet means the name, shorter name, or if we can say epithet means actually another name or a short name, even which we make for any type of object, or even the names for pets or even in the home, that is also epithet. Here we are talking about the species name. Follow the genus name is not capitalized. It should be in a small letter. Sometimes it may be Italian small letter they may mention in the books, but I want to say about the small letter, not capitalized. There is no exception in this while writing the binomial system of writing the botanical source or biological source of the crude drug. So this is the binomial system, how to write the genus with the capital starting letter, and the species is a second name will come with the small letter, not capitalized. There should not be any compromise in this writing of botanical source or biological source of a crude drug. Thus, the species of cinchona, named after Charles Ledger, who is the scientist who brought this seed from Brazil in 1865, is known as Cinchona ledgerania. You can see that very clearly in the slide. Cinchona, C is capital, is this genus name. Ledgerania, that is Charles Ledger, is a scientist who invented, or you can who identified, who just brought the seed, who has identified this cinchona bark or cinchona plant, which is more useful in the period of 18th century itself, used for malaria, anti-malarial drug, due to the presence of quinine as a constituent in the bark of Cinchona ledgerania plant. So you can see that ledgerania is written as a species name given for the scientist Ledger or the Charles Ledger, and L stands for small letter. It is not capitally denoted in the second name. So you just imagine, you just see that in the slide very clearly, Cinchona ledgerania. So this is the binomial system. This is the plant leaf and the flower. This is the tree when it is grown and the bark is ready for harvesting. And this is the bark which is harvested, and the powder is also shown, and which we will use to do the analysis in the lab when you are coming to the practical pharmacognosy, where you can see the microscopy, macroscopy of the bark, and as well as you can do the powder microscopy, even find out the cellular structures which can be identified in microscopy of a bark TS or RLS can be seen in cell structure when it is pulverized and made into a powder. So this can be identified, by the minimum requirements and the standards which is given in the official book, which I told this is an official drug which has been mentioned in the pharmacopoeias. Now the next one, the definitions. We are dealing with the small definitions in this class. The specific name is usually chosen to indicate some striking characters of the plants have been denoted in the name itself. So we have taken some example for you to know in the genus and the species name, how they have incorporated the characteristic of the plants. Example, conium maculatum. Maculatum means spotted. The meaning is spotted. The stem with reddish spotted patches will be there. Conium maculatum. You can see the plant. Conium maculatum. It is called a hemlock. It is used for many CNS acting drugs and many other use of traditional use, and as well as more research have been undergone, and chemical constituents are used for many various therapeutic action in pharmaceutical care or pharmaceutical use or medical use, or you can say medicinal use plant. Hemlock, the name, that is the botanical name, is Conium maculatum. So the maculatum stands, it is a species name. Previously when I was telling Ledgerania for Cinchona Ledgerania is the name of Charles Ledger. From there they have taken the species name. Here the species name is given to the characteristic of the morphological characteristic identification we have seen in the plant. There is a red spots, can be called as maculate. The name maculate is spotted, the meaning is spotted. So that's why they have given the name Conium maculatum. So this is one example. See the next one, Glycyrrhiza glabra. In the local name we know this very interesting crude drug, Adimaduram. Glabrous means smooth. They have seen this is referred to the smoothness of the pod which is present in that plant. And the pod is also used as a spice in various spices. The pod, the fruit pod of the plant species have a smooth pod. It is very smooth, polished. So they use the word glabrous, Glycyrrhiza glabra. Glycyrrhiza glabra. You see the picture? The pods, beautiful pods in the plant, actually the root is used as Adimaduram. The root is Glycyrrhiza glabra. The roots of Glycyrrhiza glabra is used as a crude drug. And also we are taking spice of the pod which the collector which he is showing in the picture. The pods, the fruit pods, very smooth. That's name they have given. So some strikes characteristic of the plants. Number one, two examples we have seen. Third one you can see, Hyoscyamus myticus. What do you mean by myticus? Short. Hyoscyamus is a variety of plant, Solanaceae plant, which contain hyoscine, which is a derivative of an alkaloid like tropane alkaloid. You will study in detail, the degree students, when you are studying in detail even the structure of the compounds present in the Hyoscyamus. We are now talking about the name, botanical name, Myticus. What is the relationship for the species name Myticus? Short. The plant is short, you can see that. Looking the plant, Hyoscyamus myticus in the picture which I am showing in the slide. Short plant. So short, the meaning is myticus. Flower, beautiful flower. Can you see that purple flower? This plant contains hyoscyamin, is an actually powerful alkaloid. It's also a poisonous, and it has, because it has more anticholinergic activity. We will be studying more detail in your pharmacology. And here the next example is Atropa belladonna. This is also a belladonna plant which contains Atropa belladonna, also tropane alkaloids. Atropine is present in it. So bella means beautiful, donna means lady. Why? You just see that characteristic. Why it is called bella? Because the flower also looks like beautiful flower, and bella and donna means lady. Why? Because it is lady, the name is used. Egyptians time, they were using this berry, juice of the berry, juice of the fruit which is obtained from the Atropa belladonna. They squeeze and they used to put in the eye, the females. And the pupil appears, dilates. And the pupil of the eye dilates. And it looks like a striking appearance, for attracting appearance for the females. The Egyptians used this for a decorative purpose by the lady, for his beautiness, for her attractiveness. So that's why the name is given like Atropa Belladonna. So Bella stands for beautiful, Donna stands for lady. Why it has been clearly. So that's what we are interpreting the names given by the characteristic. See the plant, flower, beautiful flower which it is in violet to purple color, and the fruit, the berry, the juice of the berry, the ladies used to put in the eye and the pupil dilates, and it is appearance of the eye. You know that eye contact of female, eyes are very important, and eyes makes them to attract the people. So that's why for attraction they have used this berry of Atropa Belladonna. Now we are talking about the next one, that is about the character of the color. Up to now we did not talk about color also. Some plants they are colored like Piper nigrum. Nigrum means black. Piper nigrum, we know that. Pepper, we know very well the pepper. Most commonly we have used. And also in Kerala we have Kudumalavu is one of the cultivation products. Most of the hilly area, not only in Norma, almost everywhere. So black nigrum, Piper nigrum. Nigrum stands for the black color. Veratrum, viride. Viride means green. Veratrum, it's a green color, and also it is a very good plant, not native to India. It is in North America, and this green color short plant was very much useful for cardiac and brain. Especially, it has more use, especially it is having lots of uses, even the cardiac valve. If there is heart valve problem, it can be given this Veratrum viride, but it is actually in certain places in agriculture, it's a poisonous plant, it's a pest actually, but still medicinal wise it is having more a critical constituent which is used, Veratrum viride. I have taken some details for the Veratrum viride is used in the disease of the heart, valves, an inflammation condition of the brain and the spinal cord even. Example, meningitis. A person, meningitis if they are having, so this commonly it will affect the multi-organ system, and in that this drug is having more useful. Serves cause of hypertension where the systolic blood is as high as 200 mm per mercury or more, also can be treated by means of Veratrum viride. This is a medicinal plant. So we want to talk about here, the green color stands for viride. It's a green in color, the plant. Citrus, Aurantium, there are citrus fruits, there are many, lemon, orange are there. This is golden yellow, Aurantum, Citrus aurantum, this is actually golden yellow color. There are many fruits, green color is there and orange color is there. This is golden yellow. That aurantum stands for golden yellow. So see the botanical name, citrus, aurantium. And now purple color. Digitalis purpurea is one of the main important drug used for cardiac congestive failure, and it gives strength to the cardiac muscles by the digoxin. It is a cardiac glycoside compound actually, digitalis purpurea, and the flowers are purple in color, which stands for purple. So digitalis purpurea, due to the purple color of the flower, which indicates the character of the plant in the species name. And digitalis luteae. Digitalis luteae. Luteae stands for yellow color. Both of them are different species. One is digitalis purpurea. Why? Because the species is color of the flower is purple in color, and digitalis luteae is yellow in color. The yellow stands for luteae, meaning is yellow. Purpurea is the meaning is purple. The color of the plant, the characteristic of the parts of the plant have been indicated in the species of the botanical source once it is mentioned. The third one, an aromatic plant or certain aroma, organoleptic character, flavor, aromas can also be added in the species name. Example, Myrtaceae fragrance. Myrtaceae fragrance, having a fragrance, nice aroma. So Myrtaceae fragrance, nutmeg. This is also one spice which we are using in all our non-veg and vegetarian foods. Also we used to use this spice. Myrstica fragrance, they used to say, or Myrtaceae fragrance, nutmeg. You can see that it's a seed inside the fruit, dried, and it is used in most of our food, and it has more medicinal use also, having lots of medicinal. Even it is used for obesity, stimulant, activity, and also for constipation, and the various ailments it have been used in a mixture of compounds in a combination drug. And another example, Caryophyllus aromaticus. This Caryophyllus aromaticus, the students, there are many names are there because it's a well-known drug which we are using in the home. Clove, cramb, that one which we can say clove, which is called Caryophyllus aromaticus, Eugenia caryophyllus, Schizogenium aromaticum, like that it has many synonyms. This is that plant which is more cultivated in our place in Kanyakumari district and in Kerala. We have this clove cultivation, and as well as it is having more yield over here. Estates are available for this. So you can see that name, Caryophyllus aromaticus. This aromaticus name refers to the aroma flavor. Same like before just now, Myrtaceae fragrance. Fragrance means which stands for the fragrance, the flavor of the aroma. This is also aromaticus, stands for the aroma. The botanical name Caryophyllus aromaticus is may be written here. In other books sometimes they may write as Schizogenium aromaticum, Caryophyllus aromaticus, Eugenia caryophyllata, Eugenia caryophyllus. These all the botanical synonyms for clove, which is very commonly we have used for various ailments. Number 4, a geographical source of a history of the drug can also be incorporated in the name. For example, Cannabis indica, growing in India, that is why the species name is given indica. Cannabis, you know that it is a narcotic drug which need permission for you to cultivate. Tamarind indica, tamarind we are more using in our curries and everywhere. Tamarind, it is also having medicinal value for many uses, for UTI purposes, for diuretic purposes, for kidney functioning purposes. It has more influence in various sector of using in medicinal application. Tamarind, India. So indica stands for it is originated and it is cultivated in India. That is why this plant grows in India. That is why you can say the species indica. I have taken another example for Africana. Trichodesma africana. This plant, even we have Trichodesma indica also. Trichodesma africana, you can see this is africana, the flower. Even Trichodesma is a Kamil Tumbai. Tumbe poo. So it is also African plants when it is grown in Africa, geographical. So this states that the names are having some relationship with the characteristics of the plant species. And the fifth one, the pharmaceutical activity. Even the activity, active constituents activity, also mentioned in the names of the species. A pharmaceutical activity on an active constituents. Example, papaver somniferum. Somniferum, the meaning is sleep induced. So somniferum is the main is given. It is one of the main drug. In centuries it was used for various ailments because it contained very important isoquinoline derivatives of alkaloids are present like morphine, codeine, and that is papaverine. These all are present in this papaver somniferum. Opium, fruit, latex, it is an unorganized drug. Latex exudate from the fruit of the papaver somniferum. It contains morphine, codeine, and thebaine, not thebaine, that is papaverine. These all are present, which is used as a narcotic drug. So it induces sleep. It is an analgesic drug, central nervous system acting, sedative drugs. So that's why hypnotic sedative drugs. So it is called sleep inducing. That's why somniferum. Strychnus naxomica. Here the nux stands for nut because Strychnus naxomica is the seed of the plant is used. Vomica means it causes vomiting. The constituents which is present in Strychnus naxomica, like strychnine and brucin, which is a stimulant which causes vomiting. The poisonous dose is a small dose, it acts as a drug. When the dose is increased, it may act as a vomiting causes. So Strychnus naxomica, this is the seed. This is the plant with the fruit of Strychnus naxomica. So the word which is given at naxomica means nux stands for nuts, seed which is taken, and vomica is vomit which causes the therapeutic action. The sleeping inducing is also a therapeutic action. So pharmaceutical action of the constituents present in the plants is also added in the name of the species. That's what we want to show here. Ipomia purga, the purga, purgative, laxative, you might have heard about laxative, cathartic, in constipation, and also it causes evacuation of the bowel. There are various types of laxative purgatives. So here, the laxative action of the Ipomia purga, it's the roots of this plant. The roots of this plant is given in the powder form. This plant plays a major role for, it contains glycosides of androgen glycosides, and also it contains certain certain active ingredients causes laxative. So purga stands for its therapeutic action. And now the sixth one, general meaning of a special indication, like special indication. Allium sativum, we know, very interesting, cultivated, and there is wild also it is available. But if you are cultivated, then it is called Allium sativum, because we are using this more. This is the very common which we are using. Garlic, Velutulli. You can see that it is cultivated plant. So it is called Allium sativum. Sativum means cultivated. Triticum vulgare. Actually, we want to say some of them, even weeds are cultivated and some of them are wild also. Even this also. So when it is wild, we can say vulgare as a species. This is wheat actually. Triticum vulgare. It is wild grown, so it is Triticum vulgare. But wheat we used to cultivate also. So species name have the characteristics of the plant. The generic name may also allude to certain characteristic of the plant. Atropa, generic name, Atropa. Belladonna is species name. So Atropa from Atropes, meaning flexel, the name of Greek fate who cuts thread of the life, alluding to the poisonous character of the drug. The drug is very poison, that is why they use that Atropa, Belladonna. Belladonna, we told it is a species name because it is lady, beautiful. Pupil dilates and it has been used, is beautiful, that is why. But here we are talking about the genus name is also having some influence. Atropa means poison. Life threaten the life. They use this for poisoning the people and making the war between the country wise, and that is the only way they used to threat the people. So this is from Egyptian period. It has been before Christ itself they have done this one. This is Atropa belladonna. We have seen this picture already. We were talking about that juice taken from the berry of Atropa belladonna used by the Egyptian ladies for dilating the pupil. So it was called as belladonna, means it is beautiful lady. But Atropa, that is a species name also having some importance to give. Allude means relation. Relation to the characteristic of the plant or the crude drug with the name of the botanical name given. Glycerissa glabra, already we have discussed glabra, we have seen the species due to the polish, smooth surface of the pores of the plant which is seen. But here it is a sweet, I told Adi Madaram, Glycerissa glabra. Glycerissa, glycerides, glycosides, glycerides, glucose, sweet. Rhiza is the root. Roots, you can see the roots of Glycerissa glabra, that is Glycerissa name. So, even not only the species name, even the genera name also having some relationship with the species characteristic. So this is a proof, for example, to go far. People to classify the natural sources of plants. How interesting to talk about that. And geographical source of drugs. The geographical source of habit in the region in which the plant or the animal yield the drug grows, where it grows. Sometimes the plants are indigenous. Native country is said to be indigenous to this country, indigenous to this place. So this region, like Aconitum, Naples, in the mountains region of Europe, Aconitum is an important drug which is used in homeopathy. Europe, Hyoscyamus meticus in Egypt. Hyoscyamus meticus, it was in Egypt. Cannabis sativa, it is from India. So indigenous to certain countries, certain area, that will be grown native to that particular country. And that is called the indigenous of the region of geographical source of the drug. Plants are said to be naturalized when they grow in a foreign land or in a locality other than their native home when it is taken to the other country. Example, cannabis sativa when you are taking it and growing in another country from India. Or if it is Hyoscyamus miticus bringing to India and growing from Egypt, that is told as foreign country. From their indigenous nature, the plant is taken to the another foreign place. Commercial origin, rare case, the commercial origin of a drug refers to its production and its channel of trade. This is some of the details I want to give you before going to the classification of the crude drugs. We should know that how the names and the taxonomical name is very common everywhere when you want to write about any botanical source or zoological source of an animal or a crude drug which is used when you are using this zoological or biological name or botanical name. We should know that genus and species name are having some relationship with the name of the plant and the characteristic of the plant. Thank you, and we will see in the next class or the continuity of, we'll go for the classification of the crude drug. This class will be useful for both in diploma in pharmacy students as well as the fourth sem students can also be more useful. Thank you.